Good evening, Futties, and welcome to this just really hot third episode of Foot in Review. We are live every Friday at 9 Central European Summertime, and live as audio podcast services around the world right after the recording. Soon we'll hope to be on iTunes too. With me is my dear friend Ingvi. Ingvi, how are you doing?
Hello, John. I'm doing quite okay considering it's quite hot all over Europe. So, summer has hit us finally.
Finally, well, I can do a weekend without now.
Yeah.
My name is John, also known as Food Coaching, and it's time to start this show. As always, if you want to send in a review, just send it in and we'll take those reviews into consideration into the show. We'll read them out loud, we give you a mention in the shout out. So that's also fun. And last week we actually got a review on request in the form of Patrick Vieira. So both Ingvi and me got him, and we'll end the show with our preview or a review of Vieira. This week we are first going to have reviews ready for Neto, the Barcelona goalkeeper, Alessandrini, infamous but also well known, Kim Pepe, I've practiced on his name, took me a week but we've got it, and also Kyle Walker. Love and feared, and I didn't hope to see him this year again, but it's a pretty good card we think. Then we'll have a preview for the just released Richarlison. I couldn't pronounce it. What's it properly pronounced?
I think it's Richarlison.
Richarlison. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that right. After episode 100, I'm pretty sure I can do all the names without making any mistakes. After Richarlison, we'll have a look into the two new objective players in the form of Mandy, the left back from Manchester City, and a very welcome one, but very unexpected one in the form of 89 rated St. Just, who did almost play no games as central defender this year, maybe 5 I think, but got a perfectly footy card for it. And as mentioned before, we'll end up with a review of Patrick Vieira. So first, let me just open up the screen so everyone in stream. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, just let us know. So let's start with the screen. Look at the first players. Instead of opening Neto, I'm just gonna open some clips we made. Actually, Ingvi made. I tried, but maybe next week. With some clips we make from him, which might be fun to watch, while Ingvi tells his opinion about using Neto last week.
Yeah, I didn't have any expectations when I got him because with goalkeepers they are so hit and miss this year. So I was very surprised when he performed really well. He made some quite crazy, insane saves that I haven't seen on many goalkeepers. Maybe the middle Van der Sar, which is crazy for me. So for me, he really performed well in rivals when I used him. I didn't feel that it was a minus to have in my team. He was like really holding up in Division 1, and I'm not scared to use him again because he can link to so many different both leagues and players since he's from Brazil. So he was a really positive experience this week actually.
Before I go into that, if you hear any sirens, those sirens are on our end. So don't stop your car. Do look in your mirror, but the sirens are over here. Probably barbecue fire or something. I think I had the same with Neto. I promised to use him, so against my will, I actually put him in my team on 8 chemistry. Because hey, we all gotta make sacrifices for a good podcast. So I thought, well, let's just try it. And he was really good. I think we gave him like 3.5 stars last week.
Yeah,
He isn't as steady in the ball, so he doesn't save a lot of balls actually and holds it. But he has an amazing reach. So for the first, I am someone who uses goalkeeper movement a lot, and I think I said this at What the Fuck podcast Wednesday as well. But he actually made some first time shot saves, which I didn't see a goalie make before. So actually, I'm really impressed by it. And if he fits in your team, I don't see a reason to just not use him.
no, he's weekend league ready for me at least. So I'm a gold one player usually if I play all my matches. But for me, I wouldn't hesitate using him if he had the right chemistry with the rest of the team. So I can recommend him if you're looking for a cheap alternative. If you have done it.
Yeah, and if you haven't, it's now too late. But
Yeah.
well, he was very cheap as well. I think
Too
he cost about 40k from scratch. I think something like that.
Yeah, it's
so
incredible.
Yeah, incredible value. Very well rated. I have to up my rating for him though. I'm gonna give him a maximum score for a goalkeeper this year. I've played 20 matches, very reliable, which means I would play him in weekly league, except he doesn't fit my squad, so he won't be coming in.
So you're giving him a 5-star rating?
I'm giving him a 5-star rating. Yeah, just go with it.
Yeah, I think I'm giving him that as well because he was great for me and incredible value as well. So there's like nothing that shouldn't say 5-star for me.
All right. I think your connection went a bit away, but you're still here, I think. So Netto ends with 5-star review score. Let us know your thoughts about Netto if you're using him or have used him as well. Alessandrini is up next. A player which I often think, oh, here we go again. I used Lozano last week. Until last week. Let me start with your thoughts first. What do you think about Alessandrini?
Yeah, I was a little bit skeptical because I used him on FIFA 18 and the Futties there didn't play to the stats. So I had I was a little bit skeptical before I put him in my team, and unfortunately I was right. He doesn't feel like a 91 rated, and he felt much more clunky than stats should suggest. I tried some finesse shots, and they were like always going wide. And his crosses were okay and passing and things like that, but he's not close to Dembele or of course Lozano, even Thomas from Team of the Season. Thomas from the Ligue 1 is much better. So a big disappointment for me, really.
Yeah, you should always say we might discuss players. That's something I've not mentioned before, but we usually don't share scores before the show. So all we say now is like not improvise, but it's news for each other. Although we might suspect things, of course. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm actually using him in my main squad now because I switched formations just before week league, which normally kids at home don't do that. But I just want to take a bit of a risk. And I needed a French right midfielder. So it was either Mbappe or Alessandrini. I thought maybe just go with the Alessandrini I have, because I only have the 87 Mbappe. But the 87 Mbappe is coming in again for this weekend, I think. And I like the tough end thought you said. Maybe I'm going to bring him back. If I compare Alessandrini to Lozano is like lightning, really quick, short. Maybe he's a bit shorter, but he's not that much shorter, I think. But he just feels way more nimble. And if you look at the stats, like the composure, the reactions, the agility, it's all max. I have no idea where the difference is. Maybe it's body type. His physical is a bit different from Lozano, but he just doesn't do it for me. If I should rate him, I'm just going to give him like 2.5 stars, I think.
I'm giving him a 2-star because I think the Alessandrini cars haven't been any good since I think it was the Futmas version in FIFA 17 was really good. I used that card until the end because it was great, but this is like nowhere near. So it's a 2-star for.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2 stars as well now, think of it, because he also makes the link with Flashback Zlatan possible. And that's also a reason for me to downgrade him.
Well, it's a good link for Zlatan, but well, it's not an advantage using him. So he's probably good for SPCs, but I don't know. It's broken and it's not in a good way. I see in the chat that Kingpin is saying it's a harsh review, but well, we have to tell the truth. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything when it comes to players. So he's not usable for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, for me neither. But it's end game as well. But that's how we have to review these players. But then again, he was rather easy to get. So if you started out in the January, you got this card. It's still a fun card to use, but I don't think it's top end. It's really league material. Be fair.
Yeah, I can maybe upgrade him to 2.5 because he's quite usable in SPC since he's 91 rated, but I'm not going higher than that.
I'm going with you with 2.5 stars because I like Kingpin.
Yeah.
Okay, 2.5 stars for Alison Renewal.
Yeah.
Let's continue with the next one because we got a pretty much action-packed show. Kim Bay. Surprise of the week last week that he actually got a card. We gave him a pretty good preview. I was a bit in doubt because I said he is high, but his left foot is really nice to have. So what are we going to say?
Yeah, I had high expectations because I liked the road to the final card and everything. So I was like positive, and he doesn't disappoint. For me, it's been great. I've been linking him with future star Mendy since I was a little bit bored of using Dani Alves, and I wanted to use Kyle Walker for the review as well. So I hit him up on the left, which he fits perfectly with his left foot, and he's really good. He's fast, he's strong, and he breaks up play before the attackers. He's really aggressive. So he might leave a little bit of gaps, but when I have Van Dijk next to him, he will cover that anyways. And he surprised me with a few really crazy jumping headers on corners. So for me, he's been really, really, really good. So I'm really happy I did the grind because the grind was really, really hard this week. So it was well worth it in the end, though, for me.
Yeah, and I've really got to agree with that. He was unexpectedly good. So I used him next to Dani Alves because we got flashback last week and it fitted. I thought it might be fun. Let's try a high player. I still don't like Alves, but Kimpembe is the reason I switched to a formation with 3 at the back now, and I'm using him in my main team because it's actually the reason why I had to put Lozano out to fit him in. He's really fast. He's strong. You have to play a more aggressive style of defense, I think. So, well, going from that, he fits, and the left foot is so lovely to build up as well. So, I think we gave him a previous score of like 4 stars.
Yeah, we did.
What'd you say?
I am upgrading him to 5, I think, actually, because he's been so good, and I see that Kingpin is giving him 4.5 stars, even though he uses him on 7 chemistry. So he says he's top 8 defenders on the FIFA right now as well from Kingpin. So thanks for sharing that. So I will give him 5 actually, for me.
I'll join with 5. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe 4.5 because of the league, but hey, I'm not gonna give Neymar or Mbappe downscaling for that as well. So yeah, 5 stars from Kimpembe. I think we all agree on he's actually pretty good. And I underestimated him last week, so mea culpa. Let's continue with someone we saw him coming. I was very against seeing him playing in every team. Kyle Walker with a haircut in here, by the way. I saw in the meanwhile in real life he became bald, but hey, that's something else. So no dynamic images of Futties. We should actually never mind. Not going into that discussion today. Kyle Walker, yeah. I haven't. That's maybe something. The first disclaimer I have to say. I didn't get him. I liked Kimpembe, and the only way for me to fit Kimpembe in was to try with another right back. I didn't like Galvez, and the only way to fit it in then that way is go 3 at the back. So I really didn't need another right back. At this stage of the game, I didn't want to spend my last coins at a Walker, which I can probably review by playing against him every match. So I can't really say much except if everyone looks at him, he seems really good and everyone uses him in a team. So
Yeah, I had to do him because I wasn't completely sold on the right back, but I was a little bit skeptical because I used both the non-inform and the Champions League one, and it was like okayish, but not like firing on all the cylinders. I did the SBC, of course. I had all the players, so that was easy for me
that
to do
helps.
them. Yeah, and he's been really good. I'm really happy I did him because he's quick and strong, great crossing. What I like the most is that his positioning is usually the correct place all the time. He's rarely out of position, getting caught on some kind of lob pass behind the defender. And if the few times it's happened, that's been because I've been a little bit too aggressive with the pressing. But he recovers so quick. And I think he beat team of the season Ronaldo quite a lot of time on the back post crosses as well, which surprised me.
Yeah, 96
So
jumping on his main stats. So
yeah, and he's so strong as well. So the only maybe downside is the weak foot, which is 2 stars. But I didn't notice it. I did some long passes with his left to the other side, to the left back, and he never misplaced the pass with his left foot. So
yeah,
as a
but
defender,
can we like judge a right fullback on his weak foot? Not even, I guess.
so
Yeah, so and actually it was around 250k, I think, which
yeah,
for an end game right back is like a very decent price. All other cards until Walker came out, all other fullbacks were way more expensive, like Dumfries or Da Costa. They all dropped very hard since Walker came, so that's a good thing. If you didn't do Walker, the other right backs, team of the years, our team of the seasons are quite affordable now.
yeah,
But go ahead.
all dropped like crazy. I think team of the season Alexander Arnold dropped at least to 300,000, I think, and Dumfries dropped maybe 100K or something at least.
Yeah, Dumfries was I think 350k or 370k when
No,
I paid attention to
yeah,
him at the start of the week.
yeah,
And I actually bought him that Thursday when Walker arrived for 150. And I see he's currently on 140. So that's a big drop if you had him.
yeah. We might see a drop now with on the left back since the Premier League won from the objectives we're gonna talk about later as well.
Could be, but which left back is tradable and used and everything?
None.
So,
I don't have any tradable ones, but well, actually, I do have one, but we can talk about that another time.
all right. Maybe tell us. But um, Yeah, Kyle Walker, we're just gonna be short about this. This will be a 5-star card for sure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, correct.
Not sure if anyone in chat says anything else, but else get out of the no. No, we appreciate it. But yeah, these cards. Yeah, of course you have to have a Premier League team, but he should be age enough to fit in around this time.
Yeah.
That was all the reviewed card we had. So we reviewed 4 cards in 20 minutes. So we're getting the hang of this. Richarlison. You hear that? It's getting better.
Close enough.
I'm just gonna name him the Brazilian from Everton. Yeah, so everyone knew this guy was going to win. First thing is, of course, 5-star weak foot as a striker. A lovely 4-star skill moves is enough. Of course, 5-5 is better. High work rates. It's just a matter of preference, I think. And strikers, what do you think?
Yeah, he looks really good. I love the strikers with 5-star weak foot. That's why I'm using the Prime Icon Moment Cruyff as my main striker now because of the weak foot skills, of course. But I've used the wants to watch Richarlison, the 86 rated, I think, and he was really good, both out wide and as a striker. So he looks really interesting. The only thing is maybe the composure, but you can boost that with a chem card. The rest looks really good. So he's strong, he's fast, he can jump, decent height. He's maybe not the tallest, but Cruyff wins headers, so he should be able to too. Dribbling is good. So if he plays to the stats, he's very interesting. He's not that crazy priced, so it's
Around
quite
how much is
affordable
he
to
now?
do as well. I can actually do a check. He was around 200. No, excuse me, he was over 300 last time I checked, and he's now 319. So he dropped around 30K now just in an hour.
So
Price
320k for a pretty endgame striker, Premier League, and easy to link because he's Brazilian, so he fits with your Neymar as well. And one card we didn't talk about, and we're not going to talk about in this episode, is the new SBC, the Premier League SBC left midfielder, of course, which he fits perfectly to.
Yeah, that's true.
So, which I forgot the name of, by the way. You should actually, after 10 episodes, you will just fill me out here.
Well, he can link in so many teams, so he can be really good. But I'm
You getting him?
I'm not. I think so. Yeah, I have coins and I have players to use, and I'm gonna make everything ready. I'm not gonna submit until I see what Mr. Pogba is probably gonna get for requirements tomorrow. But I will get him anyways to test him because he links to one of my favorites, Mr. Bobby Firmino, as well. So and I like the wants to watch card as well. So I think he can be really good, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be better than Cruyff. I doubt it.
Yeah, but I think he makes for at least a better super sub than Musa.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think next week we have to show your team, because if we use talking about these kinds of cards and talking about subs, it's a bit ridiculous. But hey, that's the end game. You see what I did there, and reference? Nah, never mind. Let's. Yeah. Well, what more do we have to say about Richarlison?
Richarlison, well, he's a little expensive. It's not crazy expensive. That's maybe what you can call downside. But if you run a Premier League team and you're not got a crazy god squad, then he should fit really good either as a striker out wide or calm center forward. So, well, I would do him if I had a Premier League team for sure, 100%.
Yeah, and I'm in doubt because I don't have a full Premier League team, but it does look ridiculously good. If any of you guys or girls, of course, in chat already used them, just let me know your first impressions during the show. We'll take those along. We'll read them up. And else we'll, yeah, I need to get them actually just to make sure we can review them for next week. So
I have a friend of mine actually that told me just before we went online that he tried him and he said he was trash and he couldn't dribble because the ball went so far ahead of him, like not sticking like glue like he wanted. So
that was your Silver 2 friend, right? Nah, I'm kidding.
uh, so well, some will like him and some will hate him. So we'll see. I see Kingpin is considering him, so he's not a fan of attackers with low-rated volleys. So, well, I don't use volley that much when I finish. So for me, I can. Well, if you hit the first time, they're probably gonna go in no matter how high the rating is, as long as it's over 50, it seems. So I think it should be okay. And I see Pace of a Tortoise is getting him because he loves five-star weak foot players. I think we can have some opinions next Friday from us and from the people in chat. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah, but Tyler might actually, the space of a third, might actually replace his Bobby Firmino with him. So, not sure if we can agree on that. Previous score, 5 stars, I guess? 4.5. 5. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this card, right? I mean,
I'll give him 4 because I'm not sure. Because, well, I heard the rumors and I'm getting in doubt. But so 4.25.
mind blown. I like every time I find a bit of logic in your reasoning, then suddenly, boom, gone.
I just want to say hi to my friend Pyman. He's joined our chat. That's great to see. And he said, I think you'll be impressed after a few games with him. Excellent finishing so far. So, okay, I'll up my preview rating to 4.5.
You're that easy, right?
Yeah, I trust my friends.
Okay, well, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll be sure this is gonna be. I'm gonna point it to 4.75, and we'll see next week what the end score is.
Yeah.
Then, 2 fun cards before we start with a real heavyweight. Do you want to start with Mandy left back, or do you want to start with Jeremiah St. Just?
I think we start with Mandy.
Mandy. So, do you know on top of your mind what we have to do to unlock this one again? I actually forgot to write it down, so bad coach.
Yeah, we have to assist using a Premier League defender in 6 separate rivals matches. So good thing is that we don't have to win. That's a plus, of course. So, but in rivals, well, it shouldn't. If you did Walker, then you should have a pretty good chance.
Yeah, thanks.
Or any decent fullbacks from the Premier League, which you don't have. So should be doable.
I don't have any fullbacks. That might be my problem. But I'll swap in Alonso to take a corner or 2. Should be alright. And else, why would I even need Mendy if I don't use it anyways? Now, Nikolas Mandy for everyone listening. 92 rated left back, of course. French. High medium work rates. 6 feet 1 and 185 centimeters. So, pretty tall. Good thing. He's a lefty, which I really like. 92 pace on his main card. 87 acceleration with 96 sprint speed. That sounds decent enough. He's got 90 dribbling on his main stat, with 85 composure, 91 reaction, 91 ball control, and 92 dribbling. Something else.
He looks really good. He might be better than the road to the final Alonso. And he links to Kim Pemba, our favorite, as well, which is great. And as Pyman says, that maybe you can hope for some help from the community while you're doing the unlock.
I'm not gonna hold out for that hope.
I see that Kingpin says that you should never depend on the FIFA community. So it's touch and go.
For someone who, well, who sort of sometimes make a living out of it, I'm gonna stay clear of comments from this one.
Yeah,
Good community, good community. Thanks, guys. Love you.
yeah.
But he looks great, right? I mean, 91 stamina. I'd love to get in 99, but is that much of a problem? I mean, 90 straight. Oh, lovely. Yeah, this card looks good. Easy to link up French and Premier League. Can we say something else about this? It says it has a beast rating of 92, but this is a beast, right?
Yeah, but he has low agility, but I didn't feel that was a problem with Alonso when he got upgraded last time. So even though the agility is a little bit low, you can always boost it. You can, I think, it's use Guardian on him because he still has, well, high enough speed, really, and he's strong enough to just wrestle down the players trying to run past him anyways. So I don't. He might be a little bit slower to turn since he's a little bit tall, but when people do the scoop up and El Tornado crosses, he should be a really good player to have in the back post,
Yeah, or
I
in
think.
front of that cross. So,
Yeah.
what we're saying?
Since it's not wins the requirements, uh, I'm giving him a well 4.5, I think actually, because I like the non-inform as well, so he might be really good.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We were going to try to remain critical, but there's so much good at this card that I don't know. Oh, the agility, nah. Let's just give it a 5-star preview. Let's see how it works next week and get back to it. Is there anyone
Yeah,
in chat who says something else? Says that we're terribly wrong with this one.
Kingpin says that he will turn like a truck, so I don't think he will give him 5 stars or 4.5.
I do expect that a bit as well, but for someone who uses Alonso for the last couple of 2 weeks, whenever the re-release came, I don't think Alonso was that like smooth as well. To be fair, uh, so, but yeah, yeah. I think Kingpin might have a point. The agility. Let's give. I'm gonna give a 4.5, and let's see next week how he ends up to be.
Yeah,
4.5. Then someone interesting, and I'm a bit biased, of course, as everyone. Most of you might know. I'm Dutch. Um, I have lived some years of my life and studied in Rotterdam, and yeah, we had a finer player in this. Futties square. I'm almost lost for words. Why is he here? What did we do to deserve this? No, in all seriousness, we got a 94 pace on a central defender with 94 sprint speed, 94 acceleration, 95 acceleration, and he can run next to Van Dijk.
yeah,
Enough said.
yeah. Well, it's he looks better than an 89 rate, that's for sure, because he's strong as well. And of course, if you just throw anchor on him, he's 99 on acceleration and pace, and
I just want to
well,
point out he's 6'1" and he is 99 jumping.
yeah, so he should be able to keep up with all the attackers. I think maybe he'll actually follow Musa with the mosquito runs as well. So he looks very interesting indeed.
The only thing I really, really dislike, I don't mind playing with silver players, but I just want to play with silver players. So please, EA, next year, stop with the fact that you can just sub in 3 prime icons or whatever. Go all nuts with Team of the Year and all those. To still be able to unlock this. And let just battle everyone out playing silvers. That's actually pretty fun, I think. But the first experiences we've had already with trying to unlock this one, aren't the most community friendly, so to speak, right?
No, I played one match just to check before the stream and see how the weather or waters are in the single online matches, and I faced a guy that had a just normal silver team in from the Netherlands, and we played the first half. I was 1-0 up, and I was thinking, okay, cool, we can actually just play the whole match full 90 with silvers. That's cool for me. I liked it. And then he subbed on team of the season Ronaldo, and team of the season Neymar, and team of the year Mbappe. And of course, I lost. I lost 1-2, and I wasn't that happy afterwards because I said, "Why did you go desperate?" To the guy, I sent him a message, just a normal one, and he said that it's EA's fault for making it possible, and I just wanted to be quickly done with the objective, so that's why I subbed the 3 players in. So
He's
I
got a
guess we'll
point,
see.
though.
We'll see that. Yeah, he's got a point, but uh, yeah, EA should just say no subs over 74, and it should be more fun.
Yeah, at least then you get some interesting matches, I think. And now you get things like help each other out first times. So that's last time we had an objective like this. I remember being there. If you change your name, people helped each other. So you said you score first, the one who scores first wins or something. I always
Yeah,
scored first, but they never quit. So this is
yeah,
like almost it is. If this was any other player from any other club, I'd probably just leave it be. To be completely honest, but because he's also from Feyenoord, I have to get him, and a central defender who fits next to Van Dijk with this speed. I mean, I see the Van Dijk, Saint Just, Kimpembe combo already being there, and I think, oh, that is a. If you do play 3 at the back, you
oh,
might as well have those 3, right?
yeah. I see Kingpin has played a few games with him already, and he says that it's a faster version of Sergio Ramos. He has the perfect body type for a fullback, though, which of course he played most of the matches, I think, in real life. So,
True.
but he says, yeah, Kingpin says he's top 5 budget defender, 4-star fullback due to the positioning. So, well, you can probably just do a formation change if you start with 3 at the back and use him as a right back as well in a four back line. So you have options with him. So, but he looks really, really cool though.
There's a good reason why he keeps smiling on this picture.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it himself. So
So what we're going to give him preview rating?
I'll give him 5. It's going to be annoying to do the things with silvers. So if you don't have it, it's going to be expensive to buy the players unless you wait until the end of the week. But for the value and everything, it might be a little bit of grind, but it's going to be worth it. I think if you can fit him somewhere in your team or any place, you can sub him in as well if you want to. It's probably going to be really good then as well. So a 5-star from me.
Yeah, so I'm biased, so I'm not quite sure if I am allowed to give score, but I'm going to give him 6 stars. 5, I mean.
I was surprised. I thought you were going to say 4.5 since you're biased, but okay.
No. He looks decent. He looks very good, actually. He looks very
Yeah,
fast. And we're just going to try him and see if we can make some clips for next week to show you guys as well. Then something really interesting. We managed that you actually just did Vieira for fun, I think, next to you in your team. And I managed to scrape enough coins together to be able to do him at this stage of the game. A bit late. I'm really late. But maybe because I got him too late in my somewhat lesser team than yours, we have very different opinion about the next star of the show, which is Patrick Vieira, the 91 rated version, the one you can get from the SBC. And after we both said on Twitter we just did the SBC, people asked us, can't you just review him in your next episode? And since there wasn't like enough Team of the Week players, which is the reason why we started this show, and since we didn't get any written reviews in, we could battle it out on stream. So Ingvi, I want to give you maximum of 2 minutes to defend. Let's just start it. What is your one-line opinion of Vieira? One sentence.
Underwhelming. I can do it with one word.
Underwhelming. I'm gonna do it one word as well then, right?
Well, that's up to you. If you want to do one word, or probably do a little bit more positive thing than I did. I had a friend saying that you're probably gonna hate him. I don't hate him. I don't. He's great at intercepting and winning the ball. Really strong, good positioning. He actually stays back quite a lot, which is good. But I don't know. I've tried different chemisters and stuff, but his passing is so bad. He gives away so many passes, and it ends up with counterattacks and a let in a goal because he doesn't turn back and track back that quickly. So in my formation for 4-1-1, he might not be the best solution for me, for my style at least. He's probably great in the meta for 4-2-3-1-1 because as a CDM he'll be great there. But I don't know, his passing is off. It's really annoying. So it feels, as Pyman says in the chat, he says it feels clunky compared to last year, which is true. But if you need him to just tackle and just pass it a few meters next to whatever you have next to him, then he's fine. He's very good for that. But my style, he's underwhelming, and well, I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. Very disappointed.
Very disappointed, be honest. Do you want to put him into another SPC?
No, not as an SPC. I can have him as a substitute to just close in games because he can play a central back as well. So he might step in if Van Dijk get a red card. You never know. So I'm gonna, if I get Goretzka SPC back, I'm gonna do replace Vieira with him, 100%.
Okay, so summary: he's very good at defending, intercepting, and he's a big body. His cons are he is a bit clunky or very clunky, and his passing. You had in other words something like he misses a foot or something, but
Yeah, well, yeah, he maybe he misses the vision. He should be good with the stats, but he passes worse than Scream Diego Costa, and he's quite awful at passing, to be honest.
Scream Diego Costa, yeah, that's one I didn't try this year. What would you rate him? This is gonna be the most this is gonna determine the future of foot in review. No pressure, but this is the critical part where everyone tunes in or tunes out after this. No pressure.
I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, he's 2.5 in my team now. Maybe at the beginning it would be different, but at my team now, at the current state of the game and my squad, he's a 2.
Yeah, okay. So I think that the last part is very fair at this stage of the game with your current squad. So that's where my opinion comes in. My team is, of course, way less than yours. And this was a very big addition for my team. A very big win. Yes, he's a beast at 4-2-3-1. But I don't play 4-2-3-1 because that's boring. So I'm actually playing him in the 3 at the back formation, just before the 3. So in the 3-4-1-2, he just plays CM. In the 4-4-1-1, which you play as well, he also plays CM. I've put an anchor on him instead of a shadow. Bit of a finesse. We discussed our different opinions about him. For me, he's a game changer. He closes all the gaps. He's a combination with Team of the Season Wijnaldum for me. So he's able to do defensive work while Wijnaldum uses all the forward work. And it's a perfect combination. If I would describe him in one word, it would be beast, I think. He's massive. And there's also a mental part. If someone with a lesser team sees Vieira, you're automatically, I think, one step ahead. I can understand what you're saying, but since I don't have the exact same team, I can't see the comparison myself, and that's why I simply have to give him 5 stars. So this is right away perfect example for why we wanted to do this show with 2 people with some outspoken opinions. So this would actually mean he would get like 3.5 stars total.
Yeah, I can say one thing though, that it's really annoying facing someone that's good at using him, because those long legs, they intercept a lot of passes. But when I see him in attack, I rarely go pressure him, because I know that his shooting is pretty awful, to put it mildly. So I just track the passing lanes, because people never shoot with him. So, but
That's
he's
fair
annoying
enough.
to face. Yeah.
I
So
did also try. That's one point though. I did try shooting with him. So in the 4-4-1-1, he actually comes up sometimes and is able to shoot. Just don't.
Yeah.
Just his job is interception, and there's one thing where he's very good at, and I haven't seen any other player, or haven't used any other players myself, which have this ability, is to come back from closing a gap by using a standing tackle, and actually be able to get the ball back while being behind another player. I've never been able to correct stuff like that, and I can do that now with Vieira. So for me, it's a big improvement. But yeah, well, he does just don't shoot with him. Passing is perfect for my playstyle.
I do have a player that can do the kind of same job as Vieira, and that's if you do the formation change and start with 3 at the back and use team of the season Militao. He is actually
You dropped off Militao, that's right.
yeah. So I played Militao in the same type of. He's quicker. He's well, less clunky, just as strong. He maybe not stretch the legs as long, but his passing is much better than Vieira. So it's maybe a more budget version if you can't afford to do the Vieira SPC. If people want to try Militao as CDM, he's greater, and he has the same work rates as Patrick Vieira.
That's a good point. On the other hand, Vieira with all the foot swaps was pretty affordable. So in the end, I paid some not even 300,000. So less than you would pay for our Richarlison, dude. So there's that.
Yeah.
Now, thank you for your honest opinion on it. I think it's fair enough. We gave him 3.5 stars in total then, which is how this show works. If you have a player you want us to review, Ingvi can probably afford all of them. I can't. So first check with us if we both have them. Or if you have a review yourself, just tweet at us. So at footcoaching or at fgnony. That's EVGNONY. You can see it, and at footcoaching I'll make sure Ingvi gets it as well. Send in your reviews and we'll get those in the show as well. Thank you for listening today. Ingvi, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, it's going to be an interesting week with the new players, and I'm a little bit excited and fearful of the Pogba SPC we're getting tomorrow. I can't see any of the other players getting it. First of all, how expensive is he going to be? How annoying it's going to be to face him. So it might be he might replace Vieira as well if I don't get Goretzka SPC.
And on that bombshell, I think we'll just end the show right now. See you next week.
See ya.